Hello and welcome to the Geneva Netball Centre for Round 8 of the Netball New South Wales Premier League. My name is Jack Clifton. A pleasure to bring you all the latest action here from Sydney Olympic Park. And tonight on Show Court we have a big match between North Shore United and the UTS Sparks in the Opens competition. Under 23s will be later on this evening at 8:40. North Shore 4 wins and 3 losses, looking to work their way back into that top 4 and into the semi-final positions. And the UTS Sparks winless so far through 7 games as they will try and collect their first points of the 2019 season. Running through the two sides as play just starts to get underway here at Sydney Olympic Park. For the North Shore United side, they are coached by Beck Bully. Their side lines up like this: Amelia Bashir at wing defence, Sabina Gomboso, the goal shooter, Emily Moore in goal attack, Emily Nesbitt at goalkeeper, Charlotte Raleigh in goal defence, Hayley Wilson at centre, Jordan Shue is the wing attack. While for the UTS Sparks, as we see the Sparks open the scoring here on the show court, they line up like this. Danielle Bauer is the goal attack, wing defence is Jordan Benningfield, Beryl Friday the goal shooter, Grace Hill at centre, Olivia Roundtree at goalkeeper, Ellen Spencer in goal defence, and Emily Beaton is the wing attack. So both these sides trading blows, so to speak, in these early stages inside this first minute. A goal to nil the lead here between the Sparks and United, and UTS looking to just work the ball upfield and try and pull this stringent North Shore United defence out of position a little bit. They were feverishly working through their warm-ups earlier this evening. As I mentioned, no wins so far, and they open up a handy 2-goal advantage here. A minute and a half gone, and they lead by 2-0, and it's Beryl Friday, the goal shooter, that has again been able to find the net here for the winless Sparks, who have actually have quite a solid defence in season 2019. It's probably been their lack of point scoring or goal scoring ability that has held them back in 2019, and Friday has an opportunity here, and she makes no mistake. So a hat-trick of goals to start, and a handy little lead for the UTS Sparks, leading by 3-0 as Wilson gets us back underway. As they go forward here to Moore. Moore goes wide to the wing attack, and it's collected comfortably there by Gomboso, who we commentated a couple of weeks ago, and she was in fine form there, and she's opened her account for this evening as well, with the Sparks leading by 3-1. We'll keep you abreast of all the other fixtures that are going on at the moment. We've got the Heart against the Sapphires and the Panthers against the Erna Hawks. We've also got the Stingrays in action on the far court, as we see a couple of players hit the deck early on in these early stages. Taken forward there was Jordan Shue for North Shore United, and it is finished off fairly comfortably in the end by North Shore United, who themselves will know how important this game is, sitting in 5th possession at the moment, 4 wins and 3 defeats. So yeah, they've currently an equal 4th only goal percentage separating them and the Sutherland Stingrays from a top 4 position. Gomboso converts again, so it's 3 goals all, so they've erased that 3-goal deficit and come back, and it's a topsy-turvy game here in the early stages at the Geneva Netball Centre. Yeah, so 4-3 are North Shore United. They were hammered last week, though, by the Erna Hawks, 71 goals to 48, so they would have wanted to get that out of the memory bank as quickly as they could. Got back to training, got back to focusing on this week's game. It was, yeah, obviously the Erna Hawks are a very strong outfit, and we're just outclassed in every facet of that game, and in fact have actually lost 3 of the last 4, so form has been dipping a little bit for North Shore United. And here is Bauer, one well out, and it's a good finish there by the goal attack, and the Sparks just push their noses back in front, 4-3. Later tonight, as I mentioned at the top of the program, the under-23s competition will continue with the North Shore United side up against the UTS Sparks. And it's almost a complete role reversal when you talk about the under-23s, because you've got the UTS Sparks, who are obviously winless in the Opens competition in 23s. They have a 6-1 record. They're on 12 points. They're currently in second. Some good defence there by UTS, although it is going to come back for contact against the goalkeeper. And Gomboso is going to have an opportunity to tie things up, and she does just that with a nice shot into the net. 4 goals apiece. Yes, the Sparks 6-1 in the 23s. Then you have North Shore United, who are 1-6. So it is 7th up against 2nd in that game, and this game, the Opens, it's 5th up against 8th. So contrasting, I guess, views for those two teams when it comes to the 23s. Must be tempting not to try and promote some of those under 23 girls for the UTS side. As we know in many sports there is always that temptation to promote some of the younger players without trying to overly weaken the 23 side. Nice turnover here by the Sparks, who look like they're ready to play in this game as Grace Hill fires the ball down court, goes back to Hill. Short interchanging of passing there as they work the ball up the field there. And wing attack, Emily Beaton was involved there. And it's finished off in the end by Beryl Friday. So she's having quite a nice little outing here at the GN Netball Centre. A small crowd here this evening, certainly not the biggest crowd I've had for the Opens, but it does make it a little bit difficult with full-time work commitments and battling the ever-present Sydney traffic to make it here for a 7 p.m. tip-off. Hill marks the ball in the centre, and they're just going to take it just outside the circle. A roll ball there to Friday, and Friday will get to take another half a step forward. She gives the ball to the goal attack in Bauer. With the bounce pass not quite coming off, although this is going to come back and it's going to be Friday for an opportunity to score a goal. She does just that. 7 goals to 4 pardon me, inside the final 9 minutes of this first quarter. In some of those other games, the Erna Hawks leading the Panthers by 6 goals to 5, and a really nice start by the Central Coast Heart against the Manly Sapphires, 10 goals to 2 with 8.5 minutes left, and that is on on court number 3. But here at the show court, it has been a good start by the UTS Sparks. Spoke about their defence earlier on, and we do have the 3rd best defence in the league, which is incredible to believe when they have lost every game that they've played in, all 7 so far this season. For them to have the 3rd best defence defensively, they've been able to create turnovers and cause some issues for the offences of other teams, and they've added another goal here. Attack has been the issue. They've only scored 50 or more goals in a game once, and that was back in round 6 against the GWS Fury, a game they did lose. And just to pinpoint those goal-scoring issues, there's a nice rebound picked up by Friday, who sinks this one into the net once more. 9 goals to 4, so that had opened up a 3-goal lead early on. It was wiped out by North Shore United, and now they've opened up a 5-goal lead. Here has gone Bosso, and a bit of a nervy-looking shot there from the United goal shooter. Smacked over the baseline, but they will get a second bite of the cherry. The back there to Wilson, looking for some room and to manoeuvre. The 1-2 passes working well there for North Shore United, and finished off there by Moore. So they pull one back to North Shore United just to consolidate things. But in regards to the issues that the UTS have had attacking-wise this season, they've scored only 268 goals, and to put that into context, the next worst team in regards to attack in the Opens competition is the Panthers, and they have 341. So they have an extra 73 goals than obviously the UTS Sparks. So that has been a concern, but obviously it hasn't been an issue so far this evening. 6.5 left in this first quarter, leading by 10 goals to 5. And Shu couldn't get her hands on the end of that one, fumbles that one out of play. So loss last week for the UTS Sparks, going down 54 goals to 35 against the Central Coast Heart. We're in that game for large periods, but just boiled out in the final couple of quarters. And now a bit of a panicky pass down that right channel of the court. Probably a pass that didn't need to be made there by this UTS side. And there is some long passes down court, and an easy interception in the end for the Sparks, and that was taken by Olivia Roundtree. So straight into the breadbasket, and both sides unable to keep the ball into play. Nice work there by Wilson. And now we see North Shore United with an opportunity to try and move down the court through Rayleigh. Quick sharp passes now here to Chu. Wilson back to Moore, and Moore retains possession once more. And with a looping shot, just bounces off the rim and out of play. So We've seen a couple of those in these early stages of this first quarter by this North Shore United side. Uncharacteristically a little bit sloppy shooting-wise. As UTS Friday now comes out and tries to get her hands on the ball a little bit more and help out in that, I guess, for lack of a better term, that midfield area of the court. Bauer, really good finish under pressure. She's had 2 defenders on her, and she sinks that one into the net. 11 goals, plays 5, and UTS will start with possession once more. Hill, a little bit of a short ball there into Beryl Friday, and Friday doesn't miss on that. That's a really good goal. Really nice, positive netball being played by the Sparks at the moment. Obviously, the challenge for them is going to be able to keep this up for the full 4 quarters, but they made the best possible start to this game. 12 goals to 5 up, although Gomboso is going to try and change that. She does just that with North Shore's 6th goal of the game. So here you go, the North Shore United side working down there through Rayleigh and Wilson. Looping ball over the top to the centre. Wilson goes inside to Moore. Moore goes across there to Gomboso. And Gomboso scores. So a couple of goals in succession now for the North Shore United side, who are looking just to find their feet a little bit in this game. Wouldn't say they've made overly a slow start, because they did get it back to 3-3, and they certainly have created a fair few attacking opportunities in that final third, but just a little bit of sloppiness in different stages of this first quarter, particularly on the shooting front. Looped over the top to Gomboso, uses her strength well there and sinks another one. So United now firing, 3.5 remaining in this first quarter. 12 goals to 8. A real logjam in that top 4 at the moment when you think about North Shore United, as Friday just stems the bleeding a little bit there and gets a goal back for the Sparks. They are obviously equal with the Sutherland Stingrays in 4th position, and the percentage separating those two sides. But only 2 points off second, so opportunities if they were able to get a win or get a big win either tonight or in the coming weeks and try and build up that goal percentage. They could find themselves comfortably nestled inside the top 4. Bit of a fortunate rebound there for the Sparks. And Bauer's shot again unable to go in, but Friday uses her height well. And 3rd time lucky there for the Sparks. Friday, a real integral part of this UTS Sparks offense, you'd have to feel, based on what we've seen in this first quarter. Bauer from well out, she sinks another one, so 3 in a row here for the Sparks. They out to 15 goals to 8. 2 minutes left in this first quarter. It's been a frantic pace. Chu, the wing attack, goes forward to Gomboso, who's still some way out, and that's a really good goal. So she's been able to maneuver herself around Gomboso and find some space. And her finishing has been next to perfect in this first quarter. Resetting, transitioning from defence into attack. Here's that North Shore. Goes forward now to Chu. Back to Wilson, to Moore. Moore with a looping ball into the centre. Well marked by Gomboso, who sneaks this one in. Over the top to Chu. Gomboso again using those long arms of hers. Has the attention of a Sparks defender, but contact has been made by that said defender. And it's easy for Gomboso to sink that one into the net. So 60 seconds left in this first quarter. 15 goals to 10. Over the top. Now to Hill. Hill moves it back into the centre there with Beddingfield supporting. And they add another goal to their tally. So it's been an impressive opening quarter here by the Sparks. And they're a side that, if they can score on average 50, 52 goals a game with defensively how they set up, how they play, and what they've proved throughout 2019 by being the 3rd best defensive unit, And they're probably going to win more games than they're going to lose. It's just been the attack that has let them down through these first 7 games. Bauer and Beaton combining well as Friday collects the ball. She gets the goal, so less than 15 seconds. They're going to have to hurry up here, North Shore, if they want to get one last opportunity to score. They move forward to Chu, to Gomboso from well out, and Gomboso's shot just couldn't take the deflection and go in. That will probably be the final say of this first quarter. It is an entertaining quarter, but dominated by the UTS Sparks, surprisingly. The winless UTS side searching for their first win after 7 straight defeats, lead by 17 goals to 12 over North Shore United. Really good attacking display, and of course defensively a on song, creating a few pivotal turnovers. In some of the other games that are going on, we have the Panthers in trouble early on. They trail against the Erna Hawks 21 goals to 10, and the Heart 18 goals lead the Sapphires at 10. We'll take a short break as quarter time has commenced here at the Geneva Netball Centre. We're back in a couple of minutes. Welcome back. Quarter 2 about to take place. The Sparks leading by 17 goals to 12. Jack Clifton is my name. It's a pleasure to bring you through the rest of this match, but also the under-23 is a little bit later on this evening. 8:40 is the scheduled start time for that game between North Shore United and the UTS Sparks. And all the UTS Sparks will start off with possession as they move the ball down court here with Friday. Goes back to Bauer. Cross hit a Hill. Hill looking for support inside that circle, and initially the pass for Bauer was misdirected, but they do manage to pull it back, and here is Friday. Can she continue in that rich vein of form? She can. And the Sparks draw first blood in the second quarter, 18 goals to 12. Fraser. Now goes to Wilson back. Oh, in fact, that's not Fraser. That's Chu. They're playing in the wing attack position. Goes forward. And it is intercepted once more here by North Shore United, keeping the pressure on. Wilson goes to Rayleigh. Back to Wilson. Looking for Chu now. Good movement. Pulling the defenders well out of position. And then a really good finish there by Gomboso. Obviously really happy with the lead-up work to that, and gave her teammates some polite round of applause there, but a nice dancing little mark there by Friday, and she nails a goal as well. So a minute and a half gone in this second quarter, 19 goals to 13, the Sparks over United. Quick movement here, Friday. Looking for some kind of support in that area as Emily Beaton gets involved. Now goes to Bauer from some way out, bounces away off the rim and regathered by North Shore United. So they have an opportunity to move the ball up court. And the pressure just a little bit too much as there was no options there, and she's held the ball longer than 3 seconds. So North Shore United now get possession. Here is Bauer looking for another goal, and that's exactly what she gets. So even despite the contact, the Sparks out to a 7-goal lead. So they certainly haven't slackened off at the start of this second quarter. And they'll get a further opportunity to work their way down the court and potentially cause more issues as a timeout is called by the umpire. Trying to locate where the ball was at that Geneva Netball Centre here. Dribbled away. North Shore will continue. Hill now goes to Bauer. Back to Beaton, and it goes back to Bauer once more. Bauer with that looping-looking shot, looking for Friday. It's done extremely well to tap that up more than a couple of times and regather and then shoot it into the net. So some classy play there by this UTS Sparks outfit, who looks as if they can smell blood in the water here and can sense an opportunity to really get involved in this one and into this game up to their eyeballs. Knocked away from Gomboso. Call's going to come back with contact being made. So Moore has it, trying to get Gomboso into space. It goes from Wilson back to Moore from well out. It's a really good shot. Yeah, make those shots look easy, but it was from some way out. And North Shore United pull one back, but unfortunately for them, defensively, just haven't been able to stop the shooting ability of Bethel Friday and also Bauer, and Friday adds another goal to her tally. 22 goals to 14, 11 and a half left in this second quarter. Back to the middle, Wilson. Now it's tipped away once more, so another turnover created here as Benningfield moves the ball up court once more. Really quick transition, quick movement, goes to Friday, looking for support. Out wide to Beaton. Beaton does well to mark the ball despite the attentions there of Bashir, the wing defence. Bauer to Hill, across now to Friday, and Friday, with the assistance of the ring, sinks another goal. And this game is starting to be pulled away from North Shore United at the moment. They trail by 9 goals. Margin was just 5 at quarter time. And Friday then adds another goal to the tally. So a 10-goal advantage with 10 and a half minutes left in this second quarter. 24 goals to 14. Goes back now to Bashir. Long pass across court. Another turnover. They've become very, very sloppy in this quarter, North Shore United, with a few misguided passes. Looking for that miracle pass, Spencer. Beaton goes forward to Bauer. Bauer wide. Goes back there to Beaton. And it will be knocked away, but a bit of contact there from the North Shore centre, Wilson. Bauer has the ball on the edge of the circle, trying to play a few tricks there as Hill fires the ball across the court there. And it is comfortably added to another goal there by Bethel Friday. She can't do anything wrong as it stands. 25 goals to 14. Still plenty of time left in this quarter and the rest of the game, but I want to try and create some defensive turnovers here. North Shore United, and they get one here. Wilson goes forward now to Chu. Chu looking for some support. Goes to Wilson. Back to Gomboso. And interchange of passes there with Chu, and Gomboso finally managed to find the goal there for North Shore United. They needed that desperately. Haven't had a whole lot of quality possession, and now they have an opportunity to maybe get a couple of goals on the bounce and try and pull themselves back into this game. Score reads 25 goals to 15, UTS over North Shore. Under 23's action at 8:40 tonight. So lots of netball, so make sure you don't go anywhere tonight. It should be a cracking evening of netball, as it always is here on the show court at the Junior Netball Centre. And Emily Moore manages to find a much-needed goal there for United to get the deficit into single digits. Beaton goes over the top to Bethel Friday, and Friday scores again. Just seems to be almost on replay or on repeat. That's that right-hand channel with Beaton obviously combining well with Hill, and then Friday or Bauer, the two aggressive attackers up front. Here's Emily Moore. Wilson back to Moore. Bit of contact there from Spencer. Gomboso leaps high and easily puts the ball into the net. And now Emily Moore trying to just really fire up her troops. You can see the shot of the North Shore United bench there. They know how important this little period of the game is. If they could wrestle back the momentum and score 3 or 4 in succession. They get another turnover here as Bauer was unable to finish that offensive move off. Bashir. Back to Bashir. A stumbling ball forward to Wilson. Goes back to Bashir. Here's Moore searching for more possession than she's getting in the circle. Gives it to Gomboso. She scores, and all of a sudden, screws are tightening a little bit for this North Shore United side. 3 goals to 1. They have outscored their opponents in the last couple of minutes, and unfortunately Chu unable to keep that ball in. Well, she kept the ball in, but wasn't able to keep possession of it. Hill. Spencer back to Hill. Beaten. Hill trying to get on there. I think the last contact might have been off her. No, the umpire is going to say it is going to be a UTS Sparks ball. Going for that little short pass there, Hill. She goes to Friday, back to Hill. So defensively, they've looked a lot more switched on there, North Shore United, getting plenty of bodies in that circle, and they've put a lot more pressure on the shooters of this UTS Sparks side, who themselves have got a little bit sloppy in the last couple of minutes. Lead was as much as 10 goals at one stage in this quarter. It's been trimmed back down to 8, and still more than 6 minutes left in this quarter. Over the top now to Chu. Looping ball to Gomboso. Has the attention of a couple of defenders. That won't trouble her whatsoever. So 4 goals to 1 in these last 2 or 3 minutes of play. And North Shore United dragging themselves back into this one. Down by 7. And this last final 5-minute period heading into half-time could be very, very pivotal to how this game pans out over the rest of the game. Bethel Friday scores a much-needed goal there for the UTS Sparks. It had been 2 or 3 minutes since they had last scored one. It was their 27th goal of the match. But they've been certainly kept a lot quieter in this quarter by the defence of North Shore United than they were in the first quarter. 17 goals in the first quarter, only 10 in this quarter, although still 5 minutes to go. Gomboso with a rare missed shot there, and has given possession away. So not what the North Shore bench would have wanted to see from a talented goal shooter. Goes forward now to Beddingfield. Bauer over the top here to Friday. Takes that little half shuffle step and sinks it comfortably. So a lead back out to 9 goals. Just what the UTS Sparks needed. A couple of goals in succession now for them. The defenders have switched themselves on. Bauer goes to Friday on the edge of the circle. Possession will be staying with the 8th place side. Nice ball over the top. That takes away a couple of defenders, and Friday doesn't need any second invitations to sink another goal and add another goal to a tally. 29 goals to 19. They'd reduced the margin to 7, but it's back out to double digits. So North Shore just need to try and keep their composure here. And when attacking opportunities come, try and take advantage of them like they do on that occasion with Gomboso. But defensively, probably need to try and create a little bit more, a few more turnovers. They've had a few in this quarter, but it's probably banked on the first quarter where they defensively weren't able to really stop the UTS Sparks from scoring. Friday marks this ball well, goes across to Bauer, who initially loses it, but despite some contact, is able to regather possession. And not the most convincing shot from Bauer, but did enough to find its way into the net. Sparks 30 goals to 20 over North Shore United. 3.5 minutes left in this second quarter. Looking for a turnover there was Bedingfield. Couldn't quite get there. Wilson on the edge of the circle. Fires the ball there to Chu, who's had some handling issues today, but managed to hold on to that one just. Thought there was a turnover for a second via the way of UTS, but the umpire saw it differently, but not that time. They fire the ball down court once more. Another defensive turnover as Hill was combining well there with Jordan Bedingfield. Goes across to Hill, looking for Friday. Back to Hill. Now goes to Bauer. Some good attention at the back by Emily Nesbitt, but contact was made. And Bauer with a comfortable finish there. So worrying signs for North Shore United. Trailing by 31 goals to 20. And North Shore United have possession once more. And that clock is running down towards the end of the second quarter and the start of half time. And you think the way things are going, at least in these last couple of minutes and throughout this game, North Shore United, they really need half time to come, although they are able to get a rebound there and create a defensive turnover. Something that's been lacking in this match so far. Bashir goes forward to Chu, but Chu couldn't keep her feet in. It was a pass that caused her to be a little bit off balance. And ball knocked away from the wing attack for the UTS Sparks in Emily Beaton. So a couple of turnovers by both sides defensively. As fatigue no doubt playing a factor in the back end of this second quarter. Gomboso from some way out, and the ball dribbles away, but she will get to take another step forward and an opportunity to make amends, and she does just that. So the margin back to double digits inside the final 90 seconds here. 31 goals to 21. UTS Sparks over North Shore United. Forward to Moore. Moore combining well there with Chu, but this one is going to be pulled back. Still possession via the way of North Shore. Emily Moore goes to Gomboso and almost knocked away there by Bedingfield, but it's picked up in the end. Nice rebound by Roundtree and breaking down court once more. And then, well, it was a great piece of defensive play by Wilson, but couldn't quite get the rebound she desired. Beaton combining well there with Bauer. Bauer to Friday. Friday takes a couple of steps. She's going to take the shot herself, and she finishes very, very nicely. So still a fair bit of time for North Shore to try and get the ball back, or alternatively UTS Sparks to get another goal, which could be a real death knell, and they do just that. So half a minute left and the Sparks are out by 12. They led by 10 at one stage in this second quarter. It got trimmed back to 7, but a 12-goal advantage as it stands. There is going to be some soul searching certainly at this halftime interval. Maybe a few substitutions, a few changes, maybe a few positional changes need to be made as well. Less than 10 seconds to go, and well, that attacking play breaks down once more for North Shore United. Probably not enough time for UTS to get one last goal as the whistle sounds in the background, but another very impressive quarter by the winless UTS Sparks. They are playing like a top 4 side at the moment. They lead at the end of the second quarter at halftime by 33 goals to 21. They lead 17 goals to 12 at the end of the first quarter, and have outscored United by 16 goals to 9 in that second quarter. The lead was trimmed to as low as 7 goals at one stage, and we thought the North Shore United might have been wresting the momentum back and getting their noses back in the contest, but unfortunately for them, the lead has gone out to 12 goals at halftime, so some soul-searching for them, and they'll need some instructions at halftime to revitalise themselves heading into the third quarter. In regards to the other games of the scoreboards that we can see at the moment, it's the Urner Hawks 37 goals over the Panthers 26 at halftime, and the Central Coast Heart 35 goals, the Manly Sapphires 24. We're going to take about a 10-minute break as halftime has come upon us here at the GN Netball Centre in the show court. Please do join us in 10 minutes time for all the action of the third quarter, with the Sparks leading North Shore United by 33 goals to 21. Welcome back. Just the start of the third quarter here. Sparks leading by 33 goals to 21. Do you feel like this could be the quarter that could make or break it for these two sides? You feel that if the UTS Sparks, even to this break even in this quarter, or they have a 9 or 10 goal lead heading into that fourth quarter, it might be enough for them to get home, but no doubt North Shore United are going to make it difficult. Nice first up goal there to Gomboso to start things off. We're seeing some of the under-23s girls start to arrive and support their respective clubs. Gomboso just losing possession there slightly before that being ruled in her favour. Deflection falls the way of Gomboso, and she manages to sink it this time. So back-to-back goals for her, 33 goals to 23. The Sparks here through Hill. Further forward there. That's going to go against the UTS Sparks for holding the ball for too long. And so this one will be going back to this North Shore United side as Bashir collects the ball, sends it forward to Wilson. Sarah Caulfield is also out there. She's playing that goal attack position, so some fresh legs being brought on by this North Shore United side. Here is Caulfield. And she scores her first goal of the game. 33 goals to 24 now. Things starting to get a little bit interesting as that lead has been trimmed. Bit of mix up there as Wilson almost coughed up possession. That's not what North Shore United would have wanted. Goes forward here to Caulfield. Gomboso in a real battle there with Olivia Roundtree in that goalkeeping position. Times that she's had 2 or 3 defenders on her. Gomboso. Just that strong front of hers, but unable to get her hands on this one. Well, she got her hands on it, but wasn't able to reel the ball in. So, possession back via the UTS Sparks. Hill. Long pass across the court. Good interchanging of passing here by the 8th place outfit. Across now to Hill. Goes to Friday. Friday thought about doing the 1-2 pass. She's some way out. It's a really good shot. Under pressure. Couple of defenders in her face. She scores and gets back the 10-goal advantage. 4 minutes gone in this third quarter. Forward to Bauer. Bauer looking for support. Deflected away. Possession is going to stay with the UTS Sparks. The roll ball there to Friday. And Friday doesn't need any second invitations there. Comfortably sinks that one into the net. 35 goals, plays 24. Well, we spoke about the lack of attacking flair that they've shown during periods of the season, the UTS Sparks. Well, looking like they might be able to hit 50 goals for just the second time this season. As Caulfield scores a nice goal. Currently on 35 goals to Sparks. Their most goals they've scored in a game this season has been 56. And then lovely work there by Bethel Friday with another cool, calm and collected finish. They continue to pull it back. It's been good work there by Caulfield, supporting Gomboso, who's pretty much had to do it all her own in the opening 2 quarters. Forward now to Friday, and connects well there. So good passage of play leading up, particularly the work done by Emily Beaton in that little passage. 37 goals to 26, 9 minutes left in this third quarter. And Friday gets the lead back out to 12 goals. So got to give credit to both these sides, probably North Shore United for constantly trying to get themselves back in the game and biting into that lead. But then every time they have, we've been able to see the UTS Sparks dig themselves out of the hole and restore parity. They can't hear as the ball is cheaply turned over. Well, almost turned back over there as contact's made against Bashir playing in wing defence. Forward to Bauer. Bauer needs support. She goes back to her centre in Hill. Hill probably lucky not to have been pinned for the 3 seconds there, but it won't matter because it's been turned over. Here is Wilson for North Shore United. Moore playing in wing attack. Goes forward here to Wilson. Wilson now goes to Caulfield. Some way out. But still manages to finish well there to Sarah Caulfield. It's been an inspired effort, but we're almost halfway through this third quarter, and that lead still sitting at 11 goals. They need to get it under double digits by the time the final quarter starts. Nesbitt. Forward to Gomboso, and she'll get to take a couple of steps closer there after the contact. It's a pretty poor shot, though, from her standards for over a week, but it's a poor pass downfield. Intercepted here by North Shore United, deflected away both defences, desperate to try and create turnovers for their sides. Working really, really hard to put their best foot forward. This one will be coming back to the UTS Sparks. They dance their way downfield. Really impressive, their transition from defence into attack. Hill, the centre, has the ball just outside the semicircle. Goes forward to Bethel Friday, who was a really measured shot there. Just took her time and attracted those couple of defenders in, made them take their jump, and then just effortlessly lifted the ball over the top of them into the net. 39 goals to 27. Friday ambles her way up to the post, and she delivers once more. 40 goals to 27. Lead out to 13. Worrying signs for North Shore United. It was 33 goals to 21 at the half. The Sparks have scored 7 goals, as have North Shore United, but unfortunately that's not enough of what they need in this contest. They need to be outscoring them by at least 3 or 4 goals in this quarter to have an opportunity. You don't want to be trying to chase down a 9 or 10 goal lead in that final quarter. Friday dribbles away. It was lacking power, that shot, and it just bounced away off the rim. Out of play. Fortuitously for the UTS Sparks, they do get possession back through Bauer. Bauer goes straight to Friday, who had no one within cooey of it, and probably one of the easiest goals she'll score this evening. And gets the lead out back to that 13-goal margin. 41 goals to 28. Hope you are enjoying the coverage tonight. All the pitches brought to you by the guys at Bar TV Sports for this Netball New South Wales Premier League Round 8 fixture here between North Shore United and the UTS Sparks. My name is Jack Clifton, so we hope you have nestled yourselves in for the evening and enjoying the contest between these two sides as they try and get the 2 competition points. Turnover here. Great defensive turnover once more here by the UTS Sparks. Bauer, who's had a nice little battle there against her wing defence compatriot in Amelia Bashir. Fair bit of contact lately, and then what a finish that was. That was a fantastic goal by Bauer. Danielle Bauer playing in goal attack, and she has really supported the performance of her goal shooter in Beryl Friday in pretty much all of this evening's contest. Friday with that half stutter step sinks this one into the net, and it's getting uglier and uglier for North Shore United. A 15-goal deficit now, 4.5 minutes left, and you need to see something from them here. Need to try and get 3 or 4 goals in succession. Just try and keep hold of possession. They do that there through Gomboso, and Gomboso He's able to convert and find the net for the 29th time for North Shore United tonight. Hill goes forward to Bauer. Back to Hill. Looking for Friday right on the baseline. She's a fair way out. It's not going to stop her, though. She's been in a rich vein of form tonight, and that was a equal up there with one of her best finishes in this evening's game. Still a little bit of time left in this quarter for North Shore to try and drag themselves back into this one, or at least try and add some respectability to the score heading into that final 15 minutes there. Throwing the ball across court at the moment. Caulfield back to Moore. Moore with short passes there to Wilson, onto Caulfield. Further on there to Gomboso. And so that's a pretty impressive goal. That was really good lead-up play there by North Shore. .40 p.m. tonight, the under-23s fixture between these two sides, and they've had very contrasting seasons. UTS Sparks sitting second in the under-23s competition, 6 wins and 1 defeat, 12 points in second there. Only defeat actually came last week against the table-topping GWS Fury, 61 goals to 41, or not last week, it was back in round 6, pardon me. And then you've got North Shore United, who obviously 4-3 in the Opens competition. It's 1-6 in the under-23s, as Gomboso scores once more, looking for just their second win of the season. And it's currently on a 2-game losing streak, and their only winners has been against the bottom place Sutherland Stingrays. Intercepted there by Roundtree. Goes forward to Beddingfield. Forward to Nesbitt, under pressure. She goes to Wilson. Down court once more. Well marked by Wilson just on the edge of the circle. 2-minute warning approaching now for both these two sides. A 14-goal lead, but Caulfield should be able to finish from relatively elementary position. She hands the ball off to Gomboso, and Gomboso does just that. So a bit of confidence being garnered in these last couple of minutes by the North Shore side. .13 goals, though, and only a minute and a half remaining, although possession will stay with the North Shore side. Nesbitt goes now to Bashir. Back to Nesbitt. Back to Bashir once more. Forward now to Emily Moore. Caulfield looking for that miracle pass to Gomboso, who did really well to get her hands on it, keep it in play, and then score a much-needed goal. I think defensively they need to try and come up with a stop here, try and get that ball, but the net ball back and sink another one up the other end of the court. Forthcoming at the moment goes there to Bauer, who is positioned really, really well. And Bauer, despite not having as much height as her goal-shooting partner, Bethel Friday, is able to score that goal, and an important one as well for the Sparks. So at the start of this quarter, if they could consolidate, and a really good interception there by Roundtree, the goalkeeper. It was well taken there by Beaton, who did well to hold on to possession despite the attention of the wing defender and Amelia Bashir. But, yeah, as I mentioned, if they could hold on to a double-digit lead heading into this final quarter, or just consolidate, just make it a tied ball game at least in this third quarter of the goals scored, then they would be in pretty good stead, and that is, well, they've done that in some. They're up by 13. They might be up by 14 as Friday does just that with only 12 seconds remaining. So one last opportunity here for North Shore United. Well, in fact, no, the ball is going back to UTS from some way out. It is just going to dribble away off the rim and out of place. That is the end of the third quarter, and it has been all the UTS Sparks. They have dominated this North Shore United side throughout these first 3 corners, and no exceptions there. They lead by 47 goals to 33. It is a tall order for the North Shore United side. Currently sitting 5th to get back in this one. The UTS Sparks 15 minutes away from their first win of season 2019. Please do join us in about 5 or so minutes for all the action of the final quarter. The Sparks 47, leading United 33. Welcome back. Time for the final quarter here in round 8 of the Opens competition. North Shore United up against the UTS Sparks, and the Sparks are under 15 minutes away from getting their first win of season 2019. There's still a lot of netball left in this contest. And you know the North Shore United side, they're not going to be giving up. They're going to be throwing everything at the bottom place Sparks to try and put some doubt in their minds, and the fact that they're not used to winning, maybe using it as an advantage. Though a rebound and a turnover here for the UTS side as Ioke goes down court. Hill, Bauer, back to Beaton, goes forward to Hill once more. Now Friday doing well, a bit of contact in the back there from Wilson on her counterpart Hill. Turned over, and that one is going to be pulled back, I think you'll find. So UTS do catch a bit of a break there with a looping pass forward to Bethel Friday. And Friday starts off the quarter the way the Sparks ended it with a goal. They lead by 15 goals now, 48 goals to 33. In some of the other games, it's a big lead for the Erna Hawks against the Panthers. They lead by 57 goals to 37. The Heart lead the Sapphires by 50 goals to 36 on court 3. Still trying to find out what the score is on court 1. We can give that to you at the end of the broadcast, obviously, as well. But here, 48 goals to 33. UTS Sparks leading North Shore United. North Shore trying to find some chinks in the armour of that defensive UTS, and Gomboso scores a goal there. Her first of the final quarter, and the first for North Shore in this final quarter. And deflected away again. Good defence by the UTS Sparks, and it's no wonder they have had the third best defence in the league. It's been a really good performance tonight once more, and there's obviously a pretty good opportunity for them to concede less than 50 goals tonight. Great transition there to Friday. Goes into Bauer, who controls her feet well. She was rushing forward. Bit of contact there by the goal defence in Charlotte Raleigh. And that will go in for a goal. So the Sparks, looking like for just the second time in season 2019, are going to reach 50 goals in a game. They scored 56 all the way back in round 6 against the GWS Fury. And there's a fair chance they could even get their best offensive output for a game as well, which would be a real cherry on top of a pretty nice cake for them if they did record victory tonight. So another defensive turnover by UTS, the Sparks. Now the ball through Roundtree. Hill. Now Bethel Friday with the ball. Takes one step back and sinks it with a beautiful shot and gets the applause of the UTS Sparks fans that are here. She has been immense tonight for them. Obviously she's had really good distribution, and it does bring up the half century for the Sparks. Just a second time they've been able to achieve that in season 2019. Gomboso, though, immediately pulls one back for North Shore. You feel it would have to take something very, very special, though. They get a nice turnover here, North Shore United, if they were to win this game. Even just to get close. It's disappointing, I'm sure. This evening when they travelled to the Geneva Netball Centre, they would have been hoping that they could have added to their 4 wins and 3 losses. And nestled themselves close to that top 4. Timeout has been called as Hill will come off the field, and Annika Marcosi is going to come on and replace her. So some fresh legs for the final 10 minutes, and what a really good performance it was by Grace Hill tonight. Real workman's-like performance in that engine room that is the centre. Anyone that's played netball will know that centres move a hell of a lot. If she had a fit put on tonight, she probably would have well and truly eclipsed 10,000 steps. Intercepted. Well done there by Wilson. Goes forward now to Johnson. Caulfield involved in that little offensive play as well. And here she is with the ball. Goes over the top to Gomboso. And Gomboso scores. So a couple of goals in succession here for North Shore United. Lead back down to 13 goals, 9.5 left in this final quarter. And Black from, Friday, sorry, from some way out is able to sink that one in. Really good goal once more by Beryl Friday. And so Gomboso scores another one for the North Shore United side. So 51 goals to 38, both sides exchanging goals down the court. And some way out was Friday once more, but just couldn't get the angle right on that one. And a nice turnover defensively here for North Shore. In regards to next week for both these two sides, as we head into the final 8 or so minutes, North Shore United will have a big match against the Manly Warringah Sapphires on court 2, as they will try and get back in the winner's circle, assuming that they aren't able to overturn this 13-goal deficit in these final 7.5 minutes. Well, the UTS Spark have the Panthers, and the Panthers certainly haven't been the most informed side in the Opens competition this year, with only the one win. So second last against last, and at the moment the Panthers on the end of a real shellacking, trailing by 66 goals to 38, with 7.5 left in that game, and the Central Coast Heart leading the Sapphires by 57 goals to 43. So potential for back-to-back wins for the UTS Sparks, and that would certainly encourage their coaching staff and the players. Although North Shore United are making a battle of this final quarter, getting their tally up to 39 goals. And the Opens will be back to the 8:40 p.m. time slot next week. And Brittany Carter will also be back in commentary next week as well. It's been a pleasure to fill in for her over the last 4 weeks. She was over in the UK covering the Women's Netball World Cup, as well as the Women's Ashes for ABC Grandstand, and did a really good job there, and will be back in the commentary chair as of next week, as the competition in the Netball New South Wales Premier League really heats up. More than halfway through the season now, and there is a lot of pressure on teams that aren't winning as much as they would have liked, and obviously pressure on the teams that are top of the ladder that obviously want to stay there. Here go the Sparks. Good interchanging passing here as Ayoke goes to Bauer. Bauer with a bounce pass. Finds Beaton. Friday juggles the ball nicely, and with a bit of an attention, doesn't affect her. She scores again, and the Sparks now 54 goals to 39. As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, most goals they've scored this season was 56 goals against the GWS Fury back in round 6. Well marked there by Beaton on the far side of the court. So I guess damage control probably the order of the day here for North Shore United. You don't want to drop your heads in the final 5 minutes of a game and really let the floodgates open. And at the same time, they lose possession here with a bit of a panicked push pass there. Another substitution being made by UTS as Davenport comes on. It's already a 16-goal deficit. You don't want that to get out to 21 or 22 goals by losing a bundle. And even though it has been a disappointing performance tonight by North Shore United, they will know that goal percentage is a very important part, particularly when you get into that second half of the season, which we're just encroaching upon now. Can be the difference between finishing 5th or 4th, or is missing the playoffs or just scraping into the playoffs. 55 goals to 40 as North Shore United go down court once more, looking to get their hands on the ball, but a bit of contact there from the UTS defence. Nice pass there and well juggled by Gomboso, and she scores. So she's been a strong performer up front for the North Shore side, and has otherwise been a difficult night at the office. Johnson, back to Wilson, over the top there to Caulfield, knocked away momentarily, but Johnson picks it back up and then loops the pass into the semicircle for Gomboso. He sinks a beautiful goal. That was very well done by the North Shore United goal shooter. 3.5 remaining. Sparks 55, United 42. Almost turned over there. Davenport controlled it well. Beaten. I'm about to say that's 3 seconds, and it is. The umpire holds up the 3 fingers to say that has outlasted what the rule book says. Knocked away. Wilson regathers though. A lot of attention. You just got to look at the defensive pattern that has been shown by by the UTS Sparks. Often double teaming players as Friday goes back now to Davenport. Over to Beaton. Beaton looking for support, just swings the ball almost into the semicircle there to Davenport. Davenport playing in goal attack. She's a fair way out, and the ball just almost rolls and dribbles across the rim. Friday thought she had an opportunity to get the ball back, but that wasn't forthcoming. So certainly some soul searching to be done by North Shore United, and they'll look to pick themselves up next week against the Manly Sapphires in the 8:40 p.m. game. But I guess the positive thing for them is just to try and dust this off and get back to training and focus on what they can control, and that is their own performance, although a little bit worrying now. They have lost 4 of their last 5. Did sit at 3-1 at one stage, and now find themselves at 4-4. They'll stay on 8 points, and they'll be hoping that results might go their way. As for the UTS Sparks, this has been a wonderful performance. Offense has been a difficulty for them this season. There was no question marks about their defense. They've been able to create turnovers in all of their games this season and have kept teams to low goal counts. But have been their ability to find regular goals that have been the concern for them, and they found 56 tonight and have a chance to get one more goal with the most goals they've scored this season, which would be a really nice addition to what's been a good evening's play for them. Only just over a minute of play left in this one. Over, and there it goes to Beryl Friday. And Friday, ball just tipped away, so they haven't been able to get that 57th goal just yet. There's some nice defensive work as ball is kept in and deflected away off a North Shore defender. Davenport, she's about 3 or 4 feet out, but she still sinks it in. It bobbled around off the rim, so the Sparks set themselves a new goal-scoring record for 2019. And they lead now by 57 goals to 43, and they have a chance to add to that as they go forward through Davenport. Combining well there with Beaton. Davenport with a chance for another goal, and she does that as well. So they're putting the icing on the cake now. The UTS Sparks enjoying themselves out here in their final 30 seconds, leading by 58 goals to 43. Tipped away, and North Shore, they've probably created 6 or 7 turnovers defensively. Unfortunately, they probably needed those in the first couple of quarters. to give themselves a chance. Trailing by 7 goals at the first change is always going to make things difficult, and haven't really been able to wrestle the momentum back. And Gomboso scores with 3 seconds to go, which will be the final play of this one. And it is the UTS Sparks who get their first win of season 2019. A convincing 58-goal to 44 defeat of North Shore United. So that certainly makes the fans that have travelled over here happy, and the girls out in the court as well. Very, very pleasing for them to get their first win after 7 straight defeats to start the 2019 season. For North Shore United, they slipped to their 4th defeat in the last 5 games. They did start the season 3-0, and now have slipped to a 4-4 record. Opportunity to bounce back in the top 4 goes missing for them. A disappointing evening here at the GN Netball Centre, but take nothing away from the UTS Sparks, who have set a goal-scoring record for this season, the most goals they've scored in a game, and just the second game this year where they've scored 50 or more goals, winning by 58 goals to 44. We have a little bit of time to kill here before the under-23s take place. We've got about 20 or so minutes there, so you make yourself a cup of tea, grab something to eat, and join us at 8:40 for what will be a wonderful under-23s game between North Shore United in 7th with 1 win and 6 defeats, and the second place high-flying UTS Sparks at 6-1. We'll see you around then.